You cannot change your life, and you cannot find your job, and you cannot change your relationship, and you cannot learn a new language only by mind, only by decision. It's not like that. You need to feel it in your whole body. Yeah.
Today we have the privilege of speaking with Joanna Choluj, also known as Viedma in Peru. She is a polyglot educator, author, spiritual counselor, and homeschooling mother who blends ancient Slavic, Incan, and Hermetic wisdom with modern teaching and transformation methods. Welcome to Future Jobs, the podcast where we explore what's next in careers, education, and personal growth. I'm your host, Fahad Jobswala, and today we have the privilege of speaking with Joanna Choluj. Also, hey Joanna, how are you? And welcome to the podcast.
How are you? I'm fine. How are you?
I am great
Welcome,
and
everybody.
super excited to speak with you today in this podcast and to talk about the future of work with you. So, Joanna, could you tell us what is your story?
The whole story, it will be a long, long story. Um, yeah, maybe we'll specify a little, right? I live in
Yes.
Peru, right? Yeah. If you have a specified question, because I will tell you like more or less right now, but I don't want to speak like half an hour. Um, I right now I live in Peru. I have three brands, you can say, and since I'm working more or less online, I can live wherever I want. I used to live in the United States, in France, and I traveled a lot, and that's how also I was learning languages, but I'm also a linguist by education studies, and it's my passion. So but yes, I'm also a homeschooler. I am a homeschooling mother. I've got two sons, and I've been doing this for it with my older son is like he will be adult, 18 years old next year. So I'm almost done, and he went to his high school. So it's finished the education with him, but I've got a younger, and we are continuing homeschooling. And yeah, I'm also a Viedma in Peru. That's my another brand, and it means that I'm helping people to find their purpose, their what is their purpose in life, what is their vocation. Some people are really lost, and they've got problems in relationships with their femininity if they are women. So I'm helping with that, with sessions, consultations. I'm doing analysis, mixing all different ancient knowledge like numerology, astrology, human design, which is very popular right now, everything like that. And I'm just telling, so where is you? Where are you? Yeah. So more or less that's it. Shortly saying I'm in Peru. I'm married. I live with my son. My another son is in Poland. He didn't want to come, and yeah, and I'm starting this year the real life school. I just want to do the play in English on the beach. So we've got that project. So now I think that's shortly put.
Wonderful.
Mm.
Even in short, your story is still like very interesting, and you know that's amazing. You have two children, and you're almost done with your kids, and they're turning into adults, and they're about to start their own life. So that is amazing. So Joanna, how did your journey begin from being a philologist and language educator to becoming Vietma, a spiritual guide?
Interested in helping people and teaching. I was organizing like a homeschool. We had everything, desks and yeah, everything. It was like school. So it was my passion since the beginning. And I was inventing languages. And then I was teaching that to my cousins. So that was our secret code against adults. And it was sometimes it was like coding, right? Yeah, so you could just invert syllables or just all. It was very good for the brain, for me and my cousins. But I have always been very um, intellectual, you can say, yeah. And I liked those games. And then I couldn't travel much because it was communism in Poland, so the borders were closed. So only when in 90s, when they opened, and Polish people started all the what is the revolution and let's stop communism and so on. So I could travel and I liked to travel. And every time I was traveling to some country, I tried to understand the language and learn the language. And finally, my first studies, it was Polish philology, because basically I was interested in the basis of the language, like what is the language matrix. So I wanted to get to know my own language. And I also was writing since childhood, like stories, poems. So I wanted to become a writer. And that's what I am too, because I wrote 26 books, which are everything, poems and novels, and yeah, and they are in my store. But for a moment, they are in Polish. I will translate one day, or I will hire a translator. And then finally, I was doing jobs in the corporate in corporations. I was a translator or some assistant at the beginning when I was very young, like 20. And yes, I was also doing lots with Rehan Ahmed Alahwala in his at the very beginning. You know, it was like 90s, and when the internet was starting, and in 2000 2001 we've been in the US, and I was helping with his developing only the this idea of super tech and everything. So it was very fascinating at the beginning, and I was mixing that with languages, yeah, learning English, and then I finally decided to be a teacher, and then I had my school, language school, yeah, and so on, yeah. So yeah, and to spiritual, yeah. The thing is, I have always been in the business, earning money with languages, but on the side, I was helping people all the time. Meaning, I didn't really do consultations, always like talking to people, and lots of people were coming to me because I have always been open as well abroad. Um, so I think I have always been doing that as well. Also, at one moment, I did it as a brand, and now Vietnam coach. That's what Vietma is in Polish. Yeah.
That's really wonderful. Um, so what experiences in Peru played a defining role in your personal and professional transformation?
I yeah, I've been living in Peru for like it will be 3 years now. Um, it's been difficult at, at the beginning, I must say, because Peru, it's like Latin America. Uh, I've been to Mexico, Mexico before, like 20 years back, but short. It was a short stay, and here I see that the mentality is completely different from North America or Europe. Or even Asia, every continent has its own. So I had to adapt, but also it wasn't so easy to do papers. So it was quite a journey, I would say. But yeah, I've learned a lot. And also Spanish, because Spanish was I didn't really speak so well, and I'm improving, but I don't teach it. Um, I don't teach it. And well, I have always been online. Yeah, I have always been working online, but only right now, like after 2 years, I'm starting to do something with people here in the real life, because I was searching. Peru is big, yeah, it's like Pakistan is big as well. Poland is like a little smaller, yeah, and Europe is smaller. So I was searching where to stay, where to live, because here, for example, I'm talking to you from Andes. Andes are big like Himalayas. Yeah, and it's called Sierra. And here, people are very closed. So I wanted to teach here. I wanted to do something here. It's not really working, but so I'm just renting another place at the coast, and I'm just traveling between those two. And basically, my project is to start this beach school, summer school, and continue with lessons online on the coast. I mean, in real life at the beach will be at the coast, of course, because it didn't really work here. And it was a journey to find that out. Yeah. But I've also have a project of a workshop, and it's called a mystical workshop in Peru. And depending on who will come, I will do it in Polish or English or whatever. I speak English, French, Polish, and Spanish. And let's see how it goes. I have a date in November and in December, and I will do it between those two places. We will be a little bit at the coast, at the ocean, and a little bit in Andes. And we will do some meetings, talking, ceremonies, and also visiting those places here, because they are amazing. It's I mean, every place is fascinating. I've been to Pakistan, and I like that. Now, I like mountains, but I like also the coast. Here it's fine because it's not so far away. Yeah. Mm.
Wonderful, Joanna. So you've mentioned about your school which you are opening, for the people. So the question came into my mind is that are you trying to open a school like Sir Rehan has opened in Pakistan, the world's first AI school. Like it's a different school, right? It's not that traditional one. So like do you have the same mindset like that, or you are opening the traditional school? So what's about that?
I'm very alternative. I'm very alternative. And yes, I mean, there is a part of lessons online. I have I have been doing this for like the last 30 years almost, yeah, because I started teaching. As I said, I started teaching my cousins, and then really being a tutor since my high school. But so those lessons will continue. I will just, and anybody needs anything, I will just teach whatever he needs it. And the method depends on the person basically and on the group. Yeah, we are using books, so this is traditional. I also do traditional way. Yeah, if anybody wants to pass the exam, Cambridge or whatever, we will do the traditional way just to succeed. Yeah, but yeah, when I was in Poland, I had I had my school, and it was like joining the lessons with creative activities and kind of always being immersed in English, and so playing in English. We were doing like acting out travels around the world, playing English, like speaking English or French. Yeah, and here I want to do the same, only I want to do it on the beach because there are lots of people who are coming, so it will be improvising. I don't really do any. I don't will do any lists. I will not have really specific groups. Whoever will come will be there. So we will just improvise over there at the beginning of the day, let's say. And because there are lots of tourists, there are lots of people, there are lots of children, because I've been there, I've seen there for the last 3 years, and I think it's a perfect occasion to kind of do speaking for them because here schooling in Peru, they are a little lacking in English, I would say, because they are very profoundly in Spanish, and Spanish, lots of people speak Spanish around the world. So, but they want to learn English and French. So they've got their lessons in the year, schooling year, yeah, at school, but they are lacking speaking. They don't have really good qualities, the good how to say good. They don't. They're not fluent. Yeah. So I think that will be fine, and parents will want to do it for their children. It will not be as well very expensive. It will be kind of cheap, but I want to do it as an experiment as well this year. So whoever come will be in the group, whatever the group, 2 persons, 2 people, 3 people, will start. We just play. Yeah, we'll just play in English. And I don't know exactly what I will do. I will improvise. So, but I did it in my vacation school in Poland, and it worked perfectly. So I think it will be fine. Yeah, singing songs and all that. Yeah.
All the best, Joanna, and your school is going to absolutely create an impact because you are opening a school which teaches so I think that school is a best place for people to come and get the knowledge. So your goal is very pure, and you will be succeed in it. So, how do you combine Slavic philology, ancient teachings, and indigenous Andean wisdom in your work?
You know, I I made those 3 brands that I've got. One is the Springla, which are languages, basically, and another is Vietnam in Peru, and this is all about spiritual teaching. And I also have the foundation, the charity organization, which is Gaia Sophia. And I kind of, how to say, because for me, even that brand, which are languages, it's not really separated. It's that my idea of the world is that everything is holistic, everything is connected together. And even when I, how to say, even when I teach languages to children, I try to make it like a whole life experience. so that they play and they kind of feel the vibrations of the language. That's why I'm saying we are going to sing songs, play instruments, and so on. And I started my journey with my own language, and it's a very ancient language, and it's connected to your language because it's connected to Urdu and Hindi and Sanskrit, because we in basis have the same language. It's the basis of all Indo-European languages, but Sanskrit, Urdu, Hindi, Polish, Lithuanian, Russian are older than English. Yeah, because they are in the core and they are very pure in grammar and vibrations. In Polish, we, for example, do mantras as well as you can do in Sanskrit, yeah? Because how to say, I just think that everything's like is the feeling. You need to feel things, and you need to feel the vibrations to kind of like it. You cannot, or kind of, you cannot change your life, and you cannot find your job, and you cannot change your relationship, and you cannot learn a new language only by mind, only by decision. It's not like that. You need to feel it in your whole body. Yeah. So I mean, it's that's what my books are about. I'm also, for example, writing about that the language is like the language matrix, and every language has the same basis. It's not the same grammar, but kind of the same logic, in fact, because a verb is like what you do. So it's a part of do, manifest, and for example the noun is who you are, like a person. So there are always those two, and they interact, yeah, and you do things. So basically, if you think like that, all languages are kind of similar, and it's good to see things holistically. I mean, I've been talking for a long time about the vibrations of and meaning of the words, for example. But I do lots of things in the alternative way, meaning I'm not really a classical linguist. For example, I say that not only the syllable or morpheme has meaning, because I think every letter and sound has meaning, because everything is a part of that big matrix, language vibrational matrix. How to say? Um, yeah, of that structure. Yeah, everything is made of waves, vibrations. Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
So
and yeah, and that's that. It's not only mind, it's your subconscious mind, it's your body. Yeah, you learn like that, like that.
exactly. So Joanna, many what we have done here, everywhere in the countries, in the schools, that we have grammars, and we have broke the languages into some parts, like we have grammar, and and all the things. So do you think it is the useful way to learn a language? Because most of the time we hear the language and we learn, you know we hear the words, we adopt it, and we put it in our mind, and we start learning in that way. So what is your opinion about that?
My approach is holistic. Holistic means that I include um, every perspective. And basically, it means that there are those two. I use the traditional approach um, because I'm a teacher by profession, by education, and I accept all the teachings and all the, I mean, not everything, but I accept the basis, what the linguists say, and the grammar. And on the other hand, I'm saying it's not enough. So you need to, it's not enough because every person is different. We have different capacities. Some people learn better visually, some people learn better listening, some people need to interact, some other people are very mind kind in their mind and they need order in learning, so they need books. Some other people don't need books at all. So first of all, you need to understand who you are and what is your best method for yourself. And then you need to kind of use different approaches. You need a good teacher. Yeah, you need a good teacher. But then there is an aspect of traditional aspect. You need to learn the language with the grammar. I think for any language, you need the basis of the grammar. Because grammar is a structure, and you need to understand if the language is complicated like Polish or Sanskrit, you will not understand it without grammar, because grammar is essential over there. It's like the heart, and the logic is there. But if you, for example, know your own grammar of your own language, that will be fine. You can kind of discover the grammar of the other language by comparing. Yeah, but you need to know at least one grammar of one language. But then the essential part is kind of practice. That's what many people are lacking. I mean, it's like in education. I'm not completely for schools, traditional schools, and I'm not completely for unschooling. No school. There is something in between. You need to mix. Yeah. So in teaching languages, it's like a little bit traditional way, meaning a little bit of grammar, a little bit of order. How much I don't know, depending on you, like what kind of person you are, what you need, and then lots of practicing. So talking to people, go to the country, or be immersed, listen to music, watch videos, movies, YouTubers, whatever. Yeah, just practice, practice, practice. Play with that language, feel it, know the culture. That's all that. Yeah, just immerse. So meaning enter in the ocean of that language. Yeah. And if you know one language, then another language is easier, and third language is much easier, and so on. So I'm like that. But then Rehan, for example, with his schools, is doing all the which is like internet and yeah, that's also fine because it's a modern world. you cannot do you cannot do everything with books anymore. um yeah. So but I think the most important is the connection, that you connect to people, talk to people. When I was young, I was 20, I was just doing what you do. We didn't have any YouTube or nothing like that, but there were chats, portals, and you would enter and find a person who would talk to you simply from another country, just to practice. So that's the point. Practice.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the best way to learn anything, it can be any language, it can be anything you would like to learn, is to play with that thing. Start playing with that, and oh, there will be one time that you'll be master of that thing. So, what advice would you give to someone looking to discover a deeper purpose in their career?
Could you repeat the question,
What
please?
advice would you give to someone looking to discover deeper purpose in their career?
Okay. Um, I would say it depends how old he is. um, mm, but anyway, um, you need to know yourself. That's the first thing. And don't listen. I mean, listen a little bit to your mother, father, school advisor, because they know you a little too. Yeah. um, but So it goes, for example, if you are young, you can listen to them and, for example, choose the school they advise you, something like that. Yeah, because when you are young, you are not really mature, and they may know better. But in your journey through life, um, kind of things get discovered. You start with the school, maybe you have your first job, and you will see if it's for you or not for you. Um, Finally, the vocation, the true vocation, is what really suits you, what suits your personality. It means that you really need to know yourself. When you go to the corporate life, they just do tests for you, and they usually don't tell you what they discovered, but they suggest you, they put you on some position based on that. And this is what I, for example, do. I just do this holistic analysis to people because I say, okay, if you really want to know what is good for you, you cannot really use your mind and heart. You need to really discover what are your capacities and your talents. And sometimes you just cannot do it just by thinking. Sometimes you just need to see what is in astrology or numerology or human design is very popular right now. And because it tells you, okay, how you interact with people, what are your talents, and normally it shows you a few options and you can choose the best for you. Um, because if not, you just need to try and find out. No, and sometimes it's a waste of time to try too much. Basic thing is the basic thing is, for example, there is the system of tests like MBTI, how in English, MBTI, and those are 16 personalities, and it's completely free online. I also use it a little if somebody is like very young. The United States, I think they do it at school, and those 16 personalities will tell you what kind of personality you are. Are you more like feeling, more thinking, more? What are your talents? Therefore, the website itself suggests you jobs. So it's interesting to do some kind of test for you. Yeah. Um, but the basic thing is like you need to get to know yourself, to know what you are good at. You can do it by trial and error,
Yeah.
and but you can also do it by just checking, like do any kind of test or talking to people, mother, father, school advisor, and so on. And then just feeling, how do you feel at the job? Are you good? And be honest with yourself. Yeah, listen to others. Yeah, like, are you good or not? Or maybe you could be, because people sometimes get stuck like 20 years in one job and it's really not good, and they are sick and they are unhappy. Like, you need to be happy. Your job needs to be your passion. I mean, maybe not so passion, but it needs to suit you. Yeah. So it's a journey. If you are young, uh, just use like everything which is like testing and school advisor and so on, and listen to them. Yeah,
Exactly.
but then also feel. Mm.
That is the best advice. And again, we just have to start playing with the thing, we have to master, because it really opens a lot of things for you. Sometimes you are considering something as a truth, but that is actually a myth. And when you that opens on you when you start playing with that thing. So thank you so much, Joanna.
Can I
Challenge
have the
for
last word?
Yeah, sure.
um, about the vocation, life vocation. Remember what I said at the beginning, like what I was as a child. Everybody has something like that. When I was a child, I was creating languages. I wanted to be a teacher and so on. And then I went in that direction. I just was listening to that. So if somebody is like 20 or 30, just think what were your childhood plays. And it will tell me a lot what you're good at and what can be your vocation. Yeah. What were you playing? Like what really what you wanted really when nobody was telling what to do?
Exactly, that is wonderful. Thank you so much, Joanna Choluj, for giving me your precious time for this amazing podcast. And it was really amazing. And all the best for your school as well. And thank you so much, guys, for listening and watching to this wonderful episode of the Future Jobs podcast. Inshallah, meet you soon with another amazing podcast with another amazing guest. Till then, stay peace and take care of yourself. Goodbye.